Sure. I mean, the North American Union, you can basically look at the European Union as a blueprint for this thing. It's very similar to what happened over there with all their countries coming together into a union, even adopting a common currency called the Amero. That's a good place to start when you want to learn about the North American Union. The other important thing to understand is that these things are done incrementally, and the way they've been doing it is through various trade deals. So we felt it was important to document the various trade deals chronologically, starting as far back as the late 40s with the General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. From there, we go on to the Free Trade Agreement, and then the North American Free Trade Agreement, which was followed by the SPP. An interesting point, too, is that Alan Gottlieb, we spoke with. I also confronted John Chrétien and Paul Martin. Now, all three of these guys sat around the same table at a Bilderberg meeting in 1996. Now, Alan Gottlieb was instrumental in the signing of the FTA. Of course, Chrétien was involved with NAFTA, and Paul Martin with the SPP. And all these guys attended the same meeting, the Bilderberg meeting in 1996. So it's clear that there is an agenda to form this thing through these various trade deals, and they're doing it incrementally. That's how they can get away with doing it, because at this point, a North American Union is the centralization of power into fewer hands, and nobody around here is going to go for that right now. People around here are going to say, why would we do that? None of us want this, and that's true. Nobody wants that at this point, but they manipulate the masses into believing that they do want it by using various techniques like problem, reaction, solution, or order out of chaos. And we bring that up in the film because we thought that was an important point to make, that this is often how they achieve getting these things, is by putting the people in some sort of a fear state, by orchestrating some sort of an attack, and then offering the solution to this problem. And seems to be that's how they're going to go about getting this North American Union.
Well, we can certainly see that in the economic collapse. There's calls for greater monetary integration between not just North American economies, but economies all around the globe. And we have also seen, obviously, how spectacular terror attacks can have that effect. And if I can't recall off the top of my head who said it, but I remember someone said that after the next 9/11 type attack in North America, then the borders would have to come down in order to secure the continent. So we see how that agenda works and how it moves forward. So on the positive side of fighting against that agenda, what do you suggest for people out there to try to spread the word about this and to try to actually stop the agenda from taking place?
Well, I still think that we're in a stage now where awareness is really extremely important. There's simply just not enough people who know that there is a problem in the first place. So right now, my focus has been on spreading the word about this agenda through making documentary films and videos for YouTube, because I feel that is one of the most important things right now, because there's just simply not enough people who are aware that this is going on. But beyond that, beyond just awareness, there's many things you can do on a grassroots level to get involved. Join up with like-minded people in your area. You can find certain groups on the meetup.com, or you can look around on Facebook groups and meet like-minded people. Get out there in the streets. Find out who your MP is in your local area, and try to contact them. Try to get to know them on a personal level. And that's where real change happens, is on the grassroots level.
It certainly is. I mean, that's absolutely an extremely important part. We have to start forming the grassroots community type organizations that will eventually have an effect by combining together, because the people do outnumber the oligarchs that are trying to run the system and to centralize control into their own hands. So once again, it's important also to support independent filmmakers like yourself and people who are out there on the front lines, making valuable documentaries and other things that we can consume. So can you please tell us a little bit about your website?
Yeah, sure. My website is pressfortruth.ca. You can see all of our work there. We post it all there. We do release the films for free online. And you know, it's always been about getting the information out. That's all it's ever been about. But of course, we would like to recoup our costs. That's why we give the option of purchasing the DVD. And we did make, we went all out on this disc. We have deleted scenes, stuff that just simply there was no time to put it in the film. Behind the scenes stuff, making, you know, the making of the film. We did a producer and director commentary track that you could watch. I wrote and played all the music and all the sounds that you hear in the whole film, and Brian made a special behind the music featurette of how we did all that stuff. So we tried to make the DVD, you know, make it worthwhile for you to get. But when you do get the DVD, we fully encourage you to make copies, make as many copies as you want, and hand them out to your friends, family, total strangers. We fully encourage that. It's all about getting the word out.
Well, that's excellent, because it is such a valuable tool for waking people up about the North American Union and the real agenda that's going on here. So I again, highly encourage people to do that. So that's excellent. Well, I guess the inevitable wrap-up question for an interview like this, what's next for Dan Dix and Press for Truth?
Well, we've been working very hard lately in the last couple months on a new film about the police and about what took place here during the G20. I'm sure, you know, a lot of your listeners and viewers, I'm sure, have seen a lot of the clips online, maybe YouTube. So we're working very hard on putting together a documentary film to try to get to the bottom of what happened that weekend. We had around 7 or 8 camera guys helping us film. We got a lot of footage to get through. When we started, you know, when we embarked on this project, it seemed a little bit overwhelming at first. But we're certainly getting through it, and we hope to have that out as soon as possible, so people can stay tuned to pressfortruth.ca, or of course my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Weaving Spider. I'm sure we'll have some trailers up for it soon, and we're going to get that one out as soon as we can, James.
I hope so. I mean, I am literally on the edge of my seat for that one, because it's just such an important thing to understand what happened there in Toronto recently. It was not only for Canadians like yourself and myself, but for people all around the globe who want to see the police state takeover happening. I mean, that was just such a in-your-face example of it, and I'm very much looking forward to it, because I'm sure that my listeners have checked into the footage that you took and put on your YouTube channel about the G20. So I'm definitely looking forward to that and very excited about that. So once again, I'm looking forward to pressfortruth.ca and all of the work that you're doing there. So Dan Dix, thank you once again for joining me on the Corbett Report.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, man, and you keep up the great work too.